this clip we'll learn Docker architecture, difference between virtual machine and Docker container, advantage of using Docker big picture. Docker architecture basically uses client server architecture. The Docker client talks to the Docker host or Docker daemon. Docker daemon manages images and containers, networks and everything. Docker daemon and Docker client can run on a single machine, or it can run on different machine. Docker client communicates to the Docker daemon using the REST API. Docker registry stores images. Docker Hub is a public registry. Anyone can store their images on Docker Hub. Docker is configured to store their images on Docker Hub by default, but you can configure your personal registry. The difference between virtual machines and container: if we see the virtual machine has an operating system, host operating system. On top of host operating system there is a hypervisor, and on top of hypervisor virtual machine can be run. So we see the figure that virtual machine has a guest operating system, and on top of guest operating system the application will be run. But if we go through the container, actually there is no guest operating system of container. Container uses the host operating system kernel. On top of host operating system there is a Docker engine. On top of Docker engine the application is running. So we see that within the container there is no host operating system. First benefit of using Docker is that accelerate developer onboarding. Like for developing a specific app, we have to ready an environment for building and running and compiling that app. So if we have more than one developer, we need to ready the environment for each developer machine. But if we use Docker, we can build an image for developing that specific app, and that image we can share to the team, which will take less time and less effort. Another benefit is that it eliminates app conflicts. For example, if we have two apps, one app has lower version dependency and another app has higher version, and if we deploy those apps on a single machine or single server, that there might be a chance to have conflict between those apps because of the same dependency has different versions. But if we use Docker create container, and that container has virtual spaces and has isolation, so there have no chance to conflict the dependencies between those apps. Another important benefit is that environment consistency. Like we developers, we frequently say that the app is running on my environment, but it is not running on production. So if we use Docker, so if the app run on my machine, it will run on production or any cloud environment or any data center environment, and we can ship software faster using Docker. Here is the big picture of Docker. Actually, if we build an image for our own application, so you have to have a Docker file, and Docker file has all the required information to build an images. So first we need to prepare a Docker file, and when we build the Docker file, the Docker images will be created, and when we run the Docker image, the Docker container will be created. Or we can pull Docker images from Docker registry. So by default Docker registry is Docker Hub, but we can configure our own registry, and we can push our created Docker images into Docker registry. This is the big picture of Docker. Thanks. If you have any questions and suggestion, comment on the comment section. Thank you.